better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romancing the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
Thanks for tuning in to Romancing the Pod. You had us at hello. I'm exhausted.
And hey, I'm Todd, and this is a podcast. Are we going to use this? Hang on.
Yeah, I think so. Just in case I fall asleep in the middle of it. Paige has worked for 12 hours straight today and is about to go back to work in a couple hours.
Paige is describing my everyday. And this week, I made you guys watch
Armageddon.
Wait, did I? Or was it kind of a joint decision?
I think it was joint. I think you brought up Armageddon and 11-year-old Paige got like so excited.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love that we did this movie. Is it romantic? Like, does it fit the theme? Maybe not. But we did it.
Neither did Lockout. So like.
Neither did Angus. Like, I definitely feel like we are just like shoehorning in movies we want to do. And I'm okay with that.
Hey, every once in a while we get one of these. We're going to announce what we're doing for the next month that I'm actually so fucking excited about.
Paige, when I initially brought that theme up, you were like against it. Although we changed it quite a bit.
Yeah. The original version I was not for. And somebody else in the group submitted an alternate version of what this eventually came to be. And I'm still down to do their version at a later date, depending on how this next one goes.
Well, we'll have to put a pin in that when we talk about it at the end of the episode. But I'm looking forward to that too. But Paige, how did you feel about Armageddon? And was this the first time you saw it?
Absolutely not. No. I saw this. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I was too young to see this in theaters.
Oh, I definitely saw it in theaters for sure.
Yeah, I was too young, but I must have seen it almost immediately after because like I was definitely very young when I saw this, but young enough to have like crushes on people because I thought Ben Affleck with his square blocky head was like everything in this movie.
Oh yeah, so you were every American teenage person attracted to men? Like that's 100% everybody at that time.
Yeah, at that time, for sure. And I was super into this movie. I think because we all know I'm a sci-fi girly. I think this was also around the time I saw Terminator.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which has probably muddied the waters a little bit on love stories in sci-fi for Paige, where that's like a sweet spot.
Yeah, because this movie's hella romantic. This movie and Terminator, so romantic.
Terminator, he came across time for her, Todd. I don't feel like we need to litigate this again. He's the future's best boyfriend.
I think he was who was available that night.
And thank God he looked like that. But anyway, I was super into this movie. Now, that said, I don't think I've watched this movie in 20 years.
Paige, fully same. Oh my God. Watching this tonight, I all I saw was all the science oops. Because like there's so much they get wrong so obviously. And the first time I saw this at like, I don't know, 11 or whatever, I was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
This is exactly what it would be like.
And none of it holds up.
They would definitely fly in landing like they're a Delta jet on an asteroid in space. That's definitely how this would happen. There's so much that's so dumb about this movie. You know what's really funny, Paige? I was like thinking to myself, this whole week until we watched the movie, I was like thinking back on the movie, like my memories of Armageddon.
Yes.
20 years now later.
Yes.
And I this is like the memories I had of it seemed like they were written and produced by Michael Bay. So I was not at all shocked when I saw directed by Michael Bay.
but also produced by Gale Ann Hurd. And I was like, man, the hits don't stop for Gale.
No.
Like, get it, Gale?
It's a Breckheimer joint too. Like it's a pretty like, it's a who's who of like famous people. Some on the come up, some had been famous for a while, but like.
I think this is Bruckheimer's come up because it's only like 5 years after this that he gets Pirates. So like this is building the building blocks for it.
If this is a romance, Pirates is a romance.
Pirates is a romance. I would argue that Pirates is a romance because he goes after her. That's like the whole thing. We could have done Pirates.
It's more romantic than this, and it's pretty much Fast and Furious, the High Seas edition.
Yeah, kind of. It's been probably 20 years since I've seen that movie as well.
Honestly, I want a shot-for-shot remake of every Fast and Furious movie, but with Johnny Depp as Vin Diesel. Go. Make it. Make it for me right now.
No, thank you. I don't want that at all.
But like Captain Jack Sparrow, just like
Sure.
family.
Just ambling through cars.
Yes.
Just running from the police.
Actually, you know what? For no reason, exactly the same movie, but replace all of the girls that start the races who were dressed scantily clad with just like a bandana to up Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow waving the start flag.
All right. Here's my thing. I don't like Johnny Depp in general.
Me either. I think he's a terrible dude. Yeah. It's unfortunate that he plays that character.
I know, but I do love, like, a few years ago on TikTok, there was like a TikTok trend of people doing the Jack Sparrow run in public places, and I do love that. And picturing that in Fast and the Furious, very funny. The thing I was struck by in this movie, and I'm sure you feel this way too, is how often they are clearly just on a soundstage and wires and it don't even look good. Where I'm like, this movie cost millions. And I'm like, this looks like a bad 80s movie. Like they're doing the same level of special effects.
It's like Deep Space Nine, guys.
Yes, it is.
But only because there's no data. Nailed it. Guys, there literally is no scientific fact in this movie that is to be abided at all.
But look, if you want some data, you could watch Independence Day if you wanted
Fair.
your Brent Spiner in your sci-fi world-ending movie.
Yeah.
Yes, so many times that I was like, these are next-gen like special effects.
Paige, you want to hear a crazy story about Brett Steiner, though, about data?
Brent Spiner, yes.
In the movie you just mentioned.
Yes.
And I realize this is our other podcast, but The Horror Virgin.
We have not done Independence Day on Horror Virgin. We should at some point.
I don't know if it's a horror movie, but that is one of the movies I saw in theaters.
Yeah.
And the scene that like...
where he's like strangled up against the glass.
And he gets shoved up against the glass, right?
Yeah.
That scene scared me so much. I was a child. I was like, I don't know, like 13 or something.
The first time I saw that movie, that scared me shitless. Yes.
Paige, I had my foot up on the chair in front of me, and I jerked so hard it broke the chair in front of me. The back of the chair ended up where the seat of the chair was.
Was anyone sitting there?
No, it was almost an empty theater because I went to that theater a lot and had a lot of friends that worked there, and it was like a late showing of Independence Day 10 weeks deep.
Got it.
So no, I was the only one there. But it scared me so much I broke the chair, and then I quickly ran out of the theater.
As you do.
I mean, I finished the movie first. It was close to the end. It's fine.
I really like Independence Day.
Me too. It's a better version of this.
It is a better version of this, and I watch it most Halloween, or not Halloweens, most 4th of July.
Honestly, I could watch it on Halloween too. Like, it's fine. It's definitely a July 4th kind of movie. It's called Independence Day. So, like, I could see why you do it then. But Halloween's a weird choice, but go for it, witchy lady.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had not watched this in 20 years. It does not hold up. This movie is, when you texted me earlier today as I was in the middle of like 15 meetings, and you were like, hey, this movie is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking how? There's like, what even happens, right? Like,
Paige, if you thought What Lies Beneath had a lot of endings, this movie's got endings for days. It's like they got in a room with a bunch of writers and they were like, all right, everyone give me your pitches for how this movie ends. And all 15 of them submitted decent endings and they were like, let's do them all.
use it all.
We're going to shoot them all and we'll decide in editing. And then they were like, let's not decide. Let's just show it all. And then that'll be it.
There's 2 reasons this movie is too long. One is funnier than the other. The first one is a screenwriting note that I usually err on the side of like preferring this method where you are using your story circle and your arcs from life to death, like,
Sure.
Like fine to trouble, whatever. And a lot of people will do that on a macro scale for their overall plot. Some people get really into it and do it within scenes. And this movie does that, and it's awful because it makes it last an hour longer than it needs to, because every single scene is like, all right, and we've solved a problem, and there's a new problem, and then we're solving a problem, and it's a new problem. Like every single scene, and the problems get solved the same way, and the problems are the same, most of the time. Where in this movie, it got to a point where I was like, take a drink every time they start up a ship and it doesn't work. Like, you'd be trashed by the end of this movie. Take a drink every time they go to drill something and it breaks.
Oh, yeah.
You would have alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
It's so many times in the movie.
But yeah, like it's a crazy movie. I don't know. Like the whole thing was weird. Like it felt like Apollo 13, but like if Bizarro made it.
Yes.
Like Billy Bob Thornton is good in this movie, but he's like a poor man's Ed Harris.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say it.
No, you're 100% right. And Billy Bob Thornton's in a completely different movie than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because like the other thing that makes this movie too long is this movie, it's almost like it wants to show off how many things it can blow up.
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Because it's a Michael Bay movie, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how long the initial asteroid shower takes in this movie? I timed it. Do you know?
Do you mean like in the movie? Like how runtime in the movie?
How long of screen time do we give one asteroid shower?
The very first one?
Yes.
Oh, 3 minutes? It was long.
9 minutes, my dude.
That's so many. And there's so many long action shots in this too. So that doesn't surprise me, but that's crazy long.
9 minutes. That's fucking nuts. That's so crazy. And then I started timing crazy montages, which by the way, if you're wondering, there are 5 different Norman Rockwell style montages of just like Americans that look like fake paintings listening to the radio.
Yeah.
5 of them.
It's not 5 shots, guys. It's
No,
5 times they do
separate
that montage.
Then, okay, this one is going to blow your fucking mind.
Blow it.
When they're buckling into the space shuttle, basically like doing the checklist to take off.
Yeah.
Do you know how long that took from when they stepped onto the shuttles to when the shuttles were in space? How long?
Oh, God. I'm going to say 4 minutes, but it was probably longer.
12 fucking minutes!
That's
12
so funny.
motherfucking minutes! Do you know, like...
Paige, okay.
That's a whole act. That's like 9 minutes and 12 minutes is an act in any other movie.
Nope, it's the act of buckling your seatbelt,
It's
Paige.
the act of buckling people in. And they don't say anything useful in that time.
There's so much of that, though. There's so much of like barely anything being like happening, but action is happening on the screen, or it's like a montage kind of thing. It's wild. Yeah.
Right. Here's another crazy, and I'm sorry I kept track of all these things, but it was driving me insane because I was like, how did I sit through this as a kid?
Do you have the one at the end where he's like, we got 10 minutes, and then it's like 40 minutes before the nuke blows up?
That one is 26 minutes, but yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just said, we have 3 minutes, Dad. Stop calling me. You have to go 800 feet down a hole with a nuke. You have I love you too, but you had to leave 25 minutes ago to get to the 800 feet depth. You insane person. By the way, they'd blow the nuke on the surface as far as I know.
No, I think it like triggers and shoots it down. I don't fucking know.
Oh, that's right. It's got a 800-foot long coil cord that goes to that remote. It's like the longest phone cord. That way, like, if you wanted to call the nuke from the kitchen, you could like grab that phone and run into your room and then curl up on your bed and talk to the nuke. Anyway, it's crazy that that's a thing.
No, you blow up first.
Exactly, Paige. Yeah.
So that is like 26 minutes, which again, in your normal run-of-the-mill 90 to 100 minute movie is an act. That's your act 3 is 26 minutes. But then here's the crazier one. 7 different times in this movie, people debrief them about the mission and give them just one piece of information.
Paige, the amount of time Billy Bob Thornton like pulls up everybody at NASA to be like, and this is legit. He's like, they have to blow up the nuke in 19 minutes. Or else, I'm like, Billy Bob Thornton, we got 20 fucking minutes. Stop calling group meetings. We got 20 minutes, bro. Shut up. Like, it's insane that he's calling a meeting 20 minutes from D-Day or whatever. Like, what are you talking about?
It was driving me nuts because I think back to another Galen Hurd joint, Aliens,
right,
where they have that one big meeting about the mission and what they need to do. Then they go in, it goes wrong. They have another one. They're like, well, now that it's gone wrong, what are we going to do? That's it. Those two, one of the best sequels of all time, one of the best action movies of all time. This, 7 different times, they're like, I'm teaching you how to not die on the surface. Anyway, here's a bunch of fake science that the viewers don't need to know.
And also, we are definitely not going to follow when we're in space.
No, not at all.
The fact that they're out walking around on an asteroid in space, like they have more gravity on the asteroid than they do on the moon.
Well, they do establish why, even though it's bullshit.
Why?
Because they have thrusters in their suits.
Oh my God, can you guys hear my eyes rolling right now?
The implication is that they are constantly have like active fuel in their suits.
Yeah, they've got thrusters on the tops of their boots that keep that's insanity. That's insane.
But that's what those weird backpacks are supposed to be, is thrusters.
I hate it. Although, Paige, I kind of love this movie. I do cry in this movie when I watch it.
I sobbed.
I can't help it.
I needed a minute because I was still crying.
I know. The whole the final moment with Bruce Willis when you're like,
oh,
how do you wait till 1 second left to hit the button, you asshat? Stop making the world saving all about you. Anyway, but the scene where he's like telling Matt Damon that like, hey man, you can fuck my daughter or whatever. Like, it's cool. You're my son now. You're my son. I love you. I'm proud of you or whatever. I'm just like bawling. It's so sad.
Oh yeah. And then he like puts his fingers up against the glass and is like, you have always been a true friend. And like, it's just buckets.
Spock should have done something. That's all I'm saying.
Spock should have fucking done something. That's all I'm fucking.
Oh, you're so smart.
Oh, where are the nuclear vessels?
Paige, watching this movie, I was struck by how it felt so much like the propaganda we're going to be getting in a few years to justify the billions of dollars we're giving private companies in subsidies. Like, I just know for sure Bezos is going to be like, no, I needed that $200 billion so I could like blow an asteroid in half or whatever. It saved you. I think it saved you. Let's just go with that.
This movie is so much America porn.
It is, man.
It's hilarious. Like, it'd be hilarious if it wasn't currently our reality.
I know. The amount of times somebody in a principal shot stops right in front of an American flag that is like 200 feet behind them and 1,000,000 feet big. Like, they're crazy shots. Like, we're indoors and that flag is 100 feet big. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's not an indoor flag size, sir.
No, none of it is. My favorite is in the Norman Rockwell montages where it's a bunch of Americans who look like they've just survived the Dust Bowl. And then they're just like pulling out like glass Coca-Cola bottles while they're listening to the radio. And I'm like, y'all.
You know what's fucked up though? They weren't even listening to the president's speech. They were listening to Big and Rich's Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy or some shit. Like, I don't know what was big in 98 when this movie came out.
Honestly, probably that.
I know, that's what I thought of it.
That's not far off.
But this movie does, it like, sort of is like, at least for the John McClane character, I feel like that's what Elon Musk sees himself as. It's like that kind of, like, can order around government agencies simply because he owns an oil company, which I'm not saying is historically inaccurate.
Sure.
It's just wild to see it so obviously depicted on screen.
Well, here's the other thing. He doesn't own an oil company. He owns a drilling company. So other companies pay him to drill in the oil in the land that they own.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's not, he's not even rich.
I guarantee you the government did not know that.
I mean,
because they treat him like he's an oil baron.
I mean, this is the whole problem with this movie where I asked Mikey to submit a written statement because he couldn't join us today because he's in Chicago. But this is Mikey's biggest problem with this movie. And I remember going back and forth with him because I, again, had not watched the movie in like 20 years and being like, I don't think it's that crazy. And then watching it today, I'm like, Mikey was right. Mikey was 100% right.
Paige, I did some research. How long do you think it takes to become an astronaut? And I'm not talking about all the prerequisites like the college and then flight school.
Yeah. You mean after that?
Yeah, just astronaut school. Yeah.
I think it takes 7 years.
Yeah. So, Paige, it takes 3 minutes according to this movie. So, like, it's very, very quick. Like, all you need is an underwater montage and you're like, good.
Todd, 2 underwater montages, but also.
You know what? You're right. It was 2, and that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I did think it was a little bit more believable in so much as that it was like, maybe 1% believable because they weren't flying it. You know,
Right.
like they had NASA pilots, but it's still insane. I do want to pitch a better, well, maybe not a better movie, but a more fun movie for now, I think. And that is exactly the premise of this movie, but the NASA people have to learn how to drill. And it's like them learning how to drill and shit, and then they have to go do it. That would be more fun for me.
Do you want to know how long it takes you to become an astronaut?
Oh, did you actually look it up?
I did look it up. It can take anywhere from, and this is after college, right?
Sure.
So we're not counting college. It can take anywhere from 4 to 10 years.
That doesn't surprise me, man. You're going to space. It's like, it takes a lot of schooling to get to space, guys. Who do you think you are, Katy Perry? Come on.
Yeah, because so I'll break it down for you. So 4 years to get a bachelor's, so you got to get out in 4. 2 more years for a master's in STEM, whatever your STEM field is. Then 2 years of professional experience, including being a test pilot.
Yeah.
Or working in a STEM-related field, like within aeronautics. Then once selected, because you have to like apply and be selected, then it's an additional 2 years minimum of basic training and physical and mental preparation for space flight.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like learning how to drill, right? Like that's the same. It's the same. It sounds like it's the same to me.
And I'm not saying that there aren't things to know about drilling. I watch Curse of Oak Island. I understand that it is a difficult field fraught with problem solving.
Yeah.
But it's not being an astronaut. It's like a whole different thing.
Right. I mean, it's very funny to me that they go about it this way, but I kind of love it. This movie does like shit on intelligence a lot, which now isn't surprising, but back then kind of was interesting. Like the fact that like there's one dude who works at NASA. It's not the main Billy Bob Thornton guy. It's another guy you see quite a bit though. And that guy is said as like, he's the smartest guy in the world.
Yes.
Like they signify him out that way. And then when they reveal that they stole Bruce Willis's design and he's just like reading them for filth because of it.
Right.
He's like calling that dude specifically a moron.
Yes.
And like, fully ass getting away with it. And that to me is wild. The fact that he's just like, well, maybe I think I should do it. And NASA wasn't just like, shut up now.
Shut the fuck up.
Is insane. But yeah, that's why I was like, oh, they must think he's like an oil baron because they're just letting him do whatever he wants.
I think this movie did, at points, weird amounts of research. Like they have NORAD and NASA, like when we see those sets, those look incredible.
Right.
And then for the rest of it, they're just like, yada, 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 yada.
It really does make me feel like Michael Bay knew how dumb Americans were way before I did.
Yeah, honestly, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, when I saw this movie, I did not see a scientific error initially. Like when I first watched it, I was like, man, this is amazingly accurate. Like this is exactly what it would be like.
Thank God we have a plan if the asteroid ever comes, is what 11-year-old me was thinking.
I know.
Because I was full on fucking 11.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Like an idiot.
Yeah, like a dummy.
Like all I'm trying to say about this movie, Paige, is like, I can't explain it, but I know who it voted for. You know what I'm saying? Like I know who this movie voted for.
So here's the thing. I think this movie didn't vote because, quote, both sides are the same. Eat elk meat.
Barf.
And that's where I think this movie landed.
Yeah. Can you imagine the privilege of not having to take a side? It's crazy to me. Anyway.
It is crazy.
Yeah. But like, listen, Paige.
Yes.
There's something about this movie that I think Michael Bay got extremely accurate. And
is it the theme song?
Okay, no, there are 2 things about this movie I think Michael Bay got extremely accurate. One, of course, naturally the theme song. We were all thinking it. The second one was that America waited 12 fucking days to confirm to the world that we were about to die in 5 days.
100%.
And we didn't even say it. We didn't warn anybody. It was just Shanghai got bombed by the roid, and we had to be like, oh yeah, we knew about that.
Oh yeah, oops.
We're working on it though. Don't worry about it. Rest of the world, America has just made the decision to go up and nuke it because, you know, that's what we do.
Don't worry about it. The people who invented sock and boppers are on it. Like, we don't worry.
Hey, Japan, remember that thing we did to you? It's going to be a lot like that, but we're going to dig down 800 feet.
Yeah. But if you want to send Godzilla to help, any day.
Oh my God. If they had like gotten off at the very end. Right when Bruce Willis rips the air hose out of Ben Affleck's thing and he shoves him in there and like goes to hit the button. If we got like a Godzilla, like ripped his oxygen thing out and pushed him in. And Godzilla was like, I got this.
And then just like, and just like screams radiation into the asteroid.
He just like flies away, opens his mouth and blows the asteroid up and it's done.
I mean, okay. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Space Godzilla and Little Godzilla, like the baby Godzilla that is also a Space Godzilla. But I have watched many kaiju movies on the channel that my Samsung TV gives me. And there is one where Space Godzilla and regular Godzilla fight on the moon. And when I tell you that the production values are about as good as this movie, you're welcome. The like sparks flying and like it's literally, if you just like copy pasted Space Godzilla and regular Godzilla onto the asteroid, you got it. Like that is all that is happening. When parts of the asteroid start falling, it's like when Captain Kirk has to fight the Gorn and they're throwing styrofoam rocks at each other. That's how crazy the end of this movie looks.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Sorry, you were talking about fighting on the moon and all I could think about was Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh, shit. That's another movie I haven't seen in forever. I still have to see the new one. I hear it's fantastic. I just haven't had a chance.
Honestly, if we could do this movie, we could do the original Superman.
Well, yeah.
He flies back in time for her, Paige.
That's the second one, I thought. I thought that was Superman 2.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Either way, this movie does, however, prove that aliens are real, Paige.
How so? Explain. Show your work.
I'll feed you, baby birds. So, like, listen, if they don't think there might be alien activity up there on the asteroid, why was there a minigun on the car they drove around?
Ooh.
You didn't see Neil Armstrong, like, hopping around the moon with an Uzi.
I thought about this when I saw it in the movie. When he shoots his way out, I was like, who that gun for?
Yeah. You're in space, sir. What are you doing? He thought he was going to go up there and shoot himself some aliens like it's Duke Nukem or some shit.
I think it's because they wanted to have the 2 story points with a gun and didn't want to justify having a gun.
Paige, the fact that they have a gun in a loaded gun in a metal safe in a spaceship.
That makes sense to me.
No. You would, okay.
Space madness. Sometimes you got to shoot Steve Buscemi.
Okay, first off, Paige, I understand why you didn't use the word they use in the movie because it's slightly triggering for you. But this movie asked me
Space dementia. Yeah, no.
This movie asked me to take itself seriously, and it has a line where a guy goes, my God, he has space dementia. And he says it like earnestly, like he is a medical doctor giving a diagnosis. And he goes to a safe, a metal safe, opens a metal safe on a spaceship, and pulls out a loaded Glock. Which,
a loaded Glock.
Paige, that is a vehicle that goes in and out of gravities for a living. Like, that is just a loose gun bouncing around a metal cage. Like, there's in a spaceship, it would blow up. Like, the whole thing would blow up. Like, if you're gonna put a gun, put it in a place where, no matter the gravity, is, like,
holstered.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you could do it with, like, foam padding. It's just in a loose safe like they're at a bank.
It's just clattering around like you just had it in a briefcase. Yes. But if there's one thing I've learned from James Cameron's The Abyss, it's that sometimes when you put people under the water or into the space and they are alone and away from the regular world too long, even if they are Kyle Reese, they go crazy and you might have to shoot them. Always have a gun.
You know that deep sea madness, Paige?
Sea madness.
I know. And listen, Paige, I am going to be a madness if we don't get into this movie scene by scene.
Yes. We open with 1 million production companies, not because this movie is bad, but because this was an era in which all of the people making this movie could do no wrong, and everyone and their brother and their brother's moms, wives, friends, cousins, dogs wanted their name on this movie.
And it was a certified hit. We'll talk about it, man. But this movie also starts out after those many, many, many production company logos with a straight up voiceover that is more or less a threat because it ends with It happened before, because it's talking about like the Big Bang that like killed the dinosaurs. I know it wasn't the Big Bang, but like it's fine. It was the Big Bang to the dinosaurs.
It's a 6-mile wide asteroid that basically changes the entire landscape of Earth because of the impact.
Yeah, you guys went to elementary school, right? You know what happened to the dinosaurs.
You get it.
God hid their bodies there so that we would be confused.
That's my favorite. I love that one. That was so great.
Oh, you mean what a lot of Christians actually believe?
So here's the thing, because I was taught creationism in school because I went to private school, right? We were never taught that one. We were taught that we don't technically know how old the Earth is, but we do find dinosaur bones, so we know they existed at some point.
I mean, that's a much more rational, like, just a more skeptical version of, like, the facts we have out there. It's way better than God hid dinosaur bones to, like, that's what I grew up with.
I had never heard that until full-on adulthood, and someone asked me that, where they were like, hey, so you grew up, like, in the church or whatever, this? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, we believe that dinosaurs were here and then gradually the, like, environment changed so they could no longer survive. And that's why they died, like a cataclysmic environmental event. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, I heard that somebody hid them in the ground to confuse us. And I was like, that I have never heard that before in my life.
That somebody was God himself, Paige.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, it is. It's almost as bonkers as this movie, but the voiceover that is describing what Paige is talking about, that sort of...
Yes.
There actually is a name for it. I called it the Big Bang in my notes. It's not that, but it's something. And it's like when the asteroid hit right above like where Mexico's shoreline is, honestly, and it like caused what everyone assumes is the extinction of the dinosaurs.
And the way they explain it here, aside from the year markers they give it, is basically what I was taught, where it's like, a once in a lifetime environmental event.
Not even once in a lifetime. This never happened. It's happened once.
Yeah, once in an Earth time.
Right.
Environmental event. And usually they link this to Noah's flood, where they're like, this is how the flood happened, which this kind of, it's like, hey, it hits here, it causes tidal waves, it does all this stuff. But also the debris in the actual like atmosphere causes that atmospheric basically like curtain or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Which makes it inhospitable for dinosaurs.
Like nuclear winter or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys just Google it. Figure it out. Like, they don't go into the science or what happened in the movie.
It destroys the antediluvian world.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I was taught.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going by what's in the movie.
Yeah. They didn't get into God hiding them. They weren't brave enough.
No. He then got in his B-25 bomber and flew back to, I don't know, wherever Scientologists believe they're from.
Wait, he didn't get in a submarine and go back to America?
How dare you bring Mormonism into it? Yeah. But the voiceover ends with this, I'm going to say, threat.
Yes.
It happened before. It'll happen again. It's just a matter of when. And I was like, who did this? Dr. Seuss? Like, why would you write it like that? Why did you have to make it rhyme?
Todd, I asked myself this question the entire movie. Who does this voiceover?
I assumed Anthony Hopkins.
No.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea who does the voiceover, but it's not a character in the movie.
It's not a character in the movie. That's what, like, or it is, and they're just doing a different voice or whatever. Because, like, if it was Billy Bob Thornton, that make sense. If it was Bruce Willis, that makes sense. Because, like, typically in a movie, one of your characters is doing the voiceover. By the way, this is the only voiceover in the movie, period.
It is. You know what would have made this work really well is we would have had to start the movie having already, like, NASA already knowing about it.
Right.
Because it could do the voiceover, and it's almost every same thing word for word, except at the end of it.
You pull back and it's a briefing.
Yeah, you pull back and it's Billy Bob Thornton just explaining what is happening, you know, and you get right into it. But no, Michael Bay's like, well, what if we just like destroyed New York for 9 minutes?
Oh my God. Because it's literally, it's the voiceover, and it sounds kind of Neil deGrasse Tyson-y, but we don't know who it is. It's never explained. Anyway, we cut to, and it just says 65 million years later, they're up doing satellite repair, and they are immediately hit by an asteroid, like a shower of asteroids that then kill that astronaut.
The whole space crew, yeah.
Kill an entire space shuttle that is absolutely just a like commercial airliner jet that has been kind of tweaked in MS Paint and then like copy pasted into this movie.
Some of the effects don't look great. It was 98 though, guys. Like
It was 98. That explodes immediately. And
Paige, I thought it was wild that the astronauts in this movie get killed the same way Massimo's dad gets killed in 365.
just from space.
From space.
And Laura's the only way to stop it somehow.
The roid got him.
Avoid the roid. It ruins satellites.
How dare you steal the Noid pizza, whatever tagline or whatever it was.
One of my favorite shirts, I found it when I was in Austin. It was like the one cool thing that happened to me there, is I found a shirt that has the Noid on it and it just says, surprise, pizza's good for you.
Honestly, would wear that.
I love it. I wear it as much as possible. Anyway, the asteroids rain down on Earth, but literally no one even has time to figure out like what is happening. So they scramble the jets, and then Billy Bob Thornton's like, you find out, call the people that do the things that fall from the sky. You call the people on the ground, see what's falling. You call 11,000. And he's just shouting orders, right?
Yeah.
For like 5 straight minutes.
Yeah, because it's like a montage. We're like getting like fire being rained down on New York, right? Because they're asteroids raining down on New York. But like nobody knows if they're asteroids or if they're missiles from like another country. So that's why they scramble the jets. They're like doing all that shit. And we're just watching like Eddie Griffin almost die. Like,
yeah, Eddie Griffin and his dog, Little Richard.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the one guy and Laura Palmer's mom from Twin Peaks. But the one guy who's like, I saw it through my telescope. And they're like, great. We never go back to that guy again. We don't know if he actually saw it. We don't know if he helps at all.
No.
He's only in those 2 scenes.
He names it.
He names it Dottie after his wife because she's also awful and will kill everyone.
I kind of love those scenes that we get because they're actually in like 2 scenes, although it all takes place over the next 3 minutes.
Right.
Like it's in this montage, right? But he's like, he makes this discovery, which would be awesome he seems to be like an amateur guy who's got a nice big telescope, right?
Right.
And then his wife comes in like really nagging him about something. And you're like, man, she seems terrible. And then the next time you see them, he like loses his mind. And you're like,
Yes.
oh, I know why she seems terrible. He's a sociopath.
They're both terrible.
Yeah, they're both like crazy people.
Well, and we're also seeing Keith David, who's like the liaison to the president, being like, tell me what's going on. Which, first of all, Keith David, congrats on your Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Yeah.
So excited for you.
Keith David is the voice of the president in Rick and Morty. So whenever I see him, I think of that and it makes me laugh.
He's a great voice for a president.
He does.
But they're all kind of running around NASA. And then, meanwhile, in New York, this is where we see Eddie Griffin and his dog, Little Richard. This is where we get a 9-minute just shots of asteroids blowing things up, no dialogue. Just like explosion here, explosion there, explosion here, explosion there. Explosions all over the world, more explosions, shot of the Twin Tower.
Man, that shot of the Twin Towers with one of them having been hit by an asteroid was dark. 3 years before they came down.
It doesn't look like that when that happens.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know, but yeah, probably not.
I'm just saying, when stuff hits the Twin Towers, it looked different.
It did look different, yeah. And listen, I'm not saying someone got an idea for that from this movie, but it did happen 3 years after this movie, and this movie did really well internationally. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But they then have a meeting where they're like, all right, so we think it's an asteroid. Where is it? Find out how far away. And then a guy comes running in. He's like, we have 18 days before it hits Earth.
Yeah.
Cut to the South China Sea, where Bruce Willis and his band of misfits are on an oil drilling rig throwing golf balls or hitting golf balls at Greenpeace.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny that it is a diesel boat.
That Greenpeace is using?
Yes. I thought that was pretty fun.
That is kind of funny, yeah.
But we find out that AJ, Ben Affleck's character, has left one of the rigs running overnight. And Bruce Willis is pissed at him about it because he told him not to do that. We don't know why. It's not important. What is important is he goes to confront him. And who should he find in his bed? Liv Tyler, his daughter.
Yeah, his and Steven Tyler's daughter,
Right.
Liv Tyler.
Mm-hmm. Only explanation.
Right.
Thus ensues an argument all over this rig that takes, 3.5 minutes, where Liv Tyler's like, don't shoot him, Dad. And he's like, I'm going to shoot whoever I fucking want.
Yeah, he's running around with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Trying to kill Ben Affleck.
I'm going to shoot Goodwill Hunting. Just like, yeah.
It's kind of fun though, Paige, because he is running around the ship. So we're getting to meet the cast of characters that becomes kind of our main cast.
Right.
In this kind of silly romp. where one of our main characters is trying to kill the other main character for the crime of dating that guy's daughter. And everyone's just kind of like laughing it off and like, oh my God, this is crazy shenanigans, you know, when the boss is trying to murder his employee. Like, it's crazy that everyone's just like kind of fine with it. Like, you would arrest Bruce Willis and send him to jail for years for this.
Well, I might be science dumb. We know this. They're on an oil rig. Petroleum be highly flammable.
You mean jelly?
No, I mean like.
No, I know what you mean, Paige. I think you're probably right. Yeah.
You should maybe not shoot guns around it, is all I'm saying. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I would think a gun is not a thing you want to keep on an oil rig. Or like cigarettes or anything flammable. Like, I don't know, but yeah.
What if somebody gets oil rig dementia? Then you're going to need to shoot him. You might have to have a gun.
He's got the rig madness, Paige. We got to put him down.
Cabin fever.
Honestly, all you do at that point is walk into the edge, hit him with the brick, and throw him in for the sharks to finish him off.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Hashtag no gun necessary.
No gun necessary. Just Sparta kicking people into the ocean.
That's honestly what happened to that little girl on that Disney cruise.
The one you were on? Did you kick her?
No, that actually happened the week after we got back, though.
I saw that on the news.
And that's not at all what happened, by the way. She was like a girl, and I think she fell in, and her dad jumped in and saved her.
Yes.
And like Disney did everything right and like got people out there really quick to rescue them. So like, I am clearly just joking. The dad did not hit that daughter with the brick and let the sharks finish her off.
No, but I did watch that other documentary on Netflix about that girl who disappeared from a cruise.
Paige, Natalie and I were one episode deep on it, and then she went to LA for 5 days, and I have not been able to finish it, and it's driving me insane.
When you finish that documentary, let me know, because I need to talk about it with somebody, and nobody has watched it yet.
Okay.
Watching Armageddon, it's clear that not everything in space goes as planned, like guns floating around a spaceship. But when it comes to gut support, Ritual's Symbiotic Plus keeps things simple. It's a 3-in-1 blend of pre, pro, and postbiotics, designed with a delayed release capsule to help reach the colon, where probiotics can do their thing. Each capsule is vegan-friendly, free from GMOs, major allergens, animal products, and artificial colors. Plus, it's HSA and FSA eligible, so checkout is easy. So get your gut going. Support a balanced gut microbiome with Ritual Symbiotic Plus. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/guthealth. That's ritual.com/guthealth for 25% off your first month. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Anyway, back on this rig, their benefactors arrive in a helicopter.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, we're here to see the oil rigs.
Well, okay, so that happens while Ben Affleck's drill that he had been running overnight struck oil. That's why he was running it overnight.
Not yet.
Oh, I guess it does cut away and then cut back. You're right.
Yeah. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But yes, that is why he was running it overnight. Meanwhile, back at NASA, they're like, well, in 1974, we wondered if we might build a laser. And you're like, oh my God, NASA, no. Like, why? Was Dr. Evil in NASA at that point, or was it still Project Paperclip?
Is this where they're like pitching ideas for like how to stop it? And the guy's like, what if we just made like an aluminum foil sail or whatever?
Yes.
Which honestly, like, if you had more time, probably would work. Like, those kind of solutions can work in space. Like, I saw an article years ago about how they could like theoretically do this kind of thing just by like attaching big scaffolding to asteroids and with like thrusters on them to slowly move them in a different direction, you know? So like there are like what would be way simpler solutions than this. But a big component of the problem here is we've got 18 days.
18 days.
Yeah. So there's not a slow solution. You've really got to throw every nuke you got at it.
Right. And Billy Bob Thornton's like, no, damn it. And one of them just looks like a dumpster that they like bring a space blanket out of, which is pretty fun.
Yes.
But this is where Keith David's like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? And who should walk in but Jason Isaacs, Malfoy's dad?
Oh yeah, that's the quote smartest guy in the world. Yes.
Yes. I hate to reference Harry Potter with it, but that is where most of you have seen this actor.
Yeah, but it is that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut to Bruce Willis and Liv Tyler are walking and kind of showing their clients around while also talking to them, but also having their conversation in English about like, hey, I'm not a child anymore. I'm an adult, and I know you're my dad, but I can choose, and you raised me in this environment, so why would you be surprised when I find someone here that I am attracted to.
Right.
And then, but their clients don't speak English. And so they're kind of like bouncing back and forth. But this is also where like we cut back away. We kind of cut back and forth to NASA because Dr. Quincy, Jason Isaacs, is like, hey, yeah, no, this is what we got to do. We can't just nuke it because it will glance off of it. But we got to like drill down and bury a nuke like holding a firecracker in your hand that'll blow it open, right? So we got to find people who can drill. And we then cut back to the oil rig where Steve Buscemi has some troubling asides.
Paige, there's so much about Steve Buscemi that lets me know he could definitely run for president successfully for one political party.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, it's basically his character from Con Air.
Well, except possibly without all the murders, although I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure that we're without all the murders here.
I mean, Con Air was also Michael Bay, right?
Let me double check. I think so.
I wonder if Michael was just like, hey, Steve, do you want to do it again?
Do you want to do it again? Directed by Simon West.
Okay.
So, but it was the year before.
Yeah.
Like literally 1 year before this is Con Air with Steve Buscemi playing like a way darker version, but still the like sex pest.
Yeah. Definitely sex pesty. In this movie, especially.
Yes.
And seems very like young.
Multiple times he asks people their age.
Well, not just that. It's not just that. I don't mind him asking someone their age. I'm kind of okay with that. But when the FBI show up or whatever to like bring them to the White House or wherever they're briefing them, or NASA probably.
Yes.
He's like, I swear to God, I didn't know her age. Like, what? No, Steve.
No.
What? Please stop.
Please stop. But they strike oil.
Yes.
Everyone gets covered. Great. They've struck oil, but in a way that was not organized or planned. And so Bruce Willis still wants to fire AJ. But this is when they show up to pick him up and take him to NASA. And he's just like, all right, but I'm taking my daughter too. They get him there, they get him cleaned up, but by now we've wasted a day just getting them there, essentially.
I mean, they were in like the South China Sea though, right? Like they had to go around the world. That would take a while.
Yes. And here, okay, they explain the problem to them and they're like, oh my God, yes. But this is where Bruce Willis is like, okay, who are you going to send? I want to take my guys. But this is where he's like, we got 15 days left.
Yeah, it is 50 days at this point. And the initial plan was that he is just going to train the scientist.
Right.
And he looks at the scientist and he goes, none of these dudes have like leading man faces, so I'm going to have to bring in my team or this movie's not going to sell, guys.
A lot of soft chins out here. Yeah. But he's like, I need my guys. But now, okay, here's my question for you. He left the rig in the South China Sea. We don't know what happens to anybody else, but as far as we know, he's the only one off the boat other than maybe AJ, right? Because AJ's fired, so they're going to send him home.
Right.
It's been a day, max 3.
I know, but we had to have the team assembling montage where they have all gone to their far corners of the U.S. that they call home.
Right.
And like we get to round them up in a way that reveals something about their personality quickly.
Right, because we start with Michael Clark Duncan, who is, come get Papa Bear. And look, there is nothing I love more than people who yell back at the cops with their own nicknames in movies. I think it's hysterical. We never know what he's on the run for or why. We then get to Max, who's getting a tattoo and donuts. We then get to Rockhound, who is Steve Buscemi, who is hitting on someone and again is like, how old are you? Then we get to Owen Wilson, who, by the way, was not on the rig earlier. We did not see him anywhere. He's just added in at this point. And then we get Chick Chapel, who is kind of the right-hand man.
Yeah.
I believe the actor's name is Mike Patton. You've seen him. He's been in a million things.
He's the co-coach from
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans, yeah. It's Will Patton, yes, yeah.
Will Patton, thank you.
Yeah.
And then AJ, who already has his own business drilling oil somewheres where Bruce Willis has time to go get him.
I assumed somewhere in Texas or something, yeah.
That's kind of what I assumed too, yeah. But he's like, I don't want to work with you ever again on this planet. That last part's key.
Yeah.
We've got a ragtag group of guys, and they're like, oh, NASA, did they find oil on Uranus? High five. They debrief them again. It's the same thing we just heard them tell Bruce Willis. It's not very different. We're hearing the whole thing again.
Yeah.
But everyone around the table is just like, and my sword and my bow and the beacons are lit. Like they're all gonna go, right?
They definitely are. Yeah.
I do love that they're like, okay, but we have some demands. And the list of demands is great. It's like expunge all my parking tickets. And Owen Wilson has 57 parking tickets
Yes.
in 7 different states.
The man's consistent. And he is the one with the
High
most
marks.
reasonable ask.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
one of them wants to get 2 women's citizenship. Max wants to
Bring
bring back
8-tracks
8-track
back.
tapes. Yeah. Bear wants to stay in the White House. Chick wants the Emperor package for a full week at Caesar's Palace. And of course, none of them want to pay taxes again. Ever.
Again, I think all of those are easy and reasonable for what they're about to do.
Yes.
I do love that he's like, could you tell us who killed Kennedy? And they just kind of look at each other and don't say anything. And he's like, no.
If that was today, they'd be like, can you tell us who's on the list?
Yeah. Can you tell us who killed Kennedy? That's CIA territory.
Right.
Like that's,
Yeah.
Anyway, they come there to drill, but they start doing like all of their medical examinations and their like
Psych evals.
their psych evals,
Yeah.
which is also where we learn that Steve Buscemi is basically a genius, like an astrophysicist,
Well, he's a chemist.
which comes in handy occasionally. He's a chemist. Yeah.
Yeah, he is very, very smart, but that's why they call him Rock Hound.
Yes.
The rock part of it is he's really good at reading rocks, and
Yes.
it's just like a gift. He's like a genius when it comes to that. So that would make you helpful on a drigging operation. That makes sense to me.
Yep.
And he's the guy who's like, you landed us on an iron plate or whatever, because that's
yeah,
like
ferrite.
Yeah, that's like his job or whatever. But yeah.
Yep. So they like put them through the ringer. Everyone gets prostate exams. Then they do another debriefing.
I do love when Steve Buscemi is getting the psych eval and they're doing the Rorschach test. He's like, this is a woman with large boobs. This is a woman with medium boobs. This is you with boobs. Like, it was just very, like, I don't know if they wrote any lines for Steve Buscemi or if he was just having the best day of his life.
I mean,
And just like dicking around on set and they captured all of it. But he seems like he's having a great time.
this is also the era of, because like now we think of Steve Buscemi as like a really good, well-respected actor. And we forget that in the 90s, he was mostly in Adam Sandler movies. And like, this is that era. Like he was in Con Air and this and Happy Gilmore, or
Yeah.
not Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer. And
Yeah.
like, then he was in Hoobie Halloween, which is so troubling on so many levels. That movie invites way too many questions that I don't want to answer. But my favorite part of it is Steve Buscemi at the end being like, hey man,
It's me. I am Halloween. I who be Halloween.
Hoobie Halloween. No, he does this whole like heartfelt explanation of like, hey, I didn't get along with my brother-in-law, and then this happened and this happened. He's like, and then he bit me, and that's how I turned into a werewolf. And that's how he ends his speech. And it's one of my favorite. It's the only, he delivers it completely sincere.
I've never seen this movie, but now I have to immediately.
It's I'm not going to tell you it's good. I'm going to tell you that you're going to laugh and then feel bad that you laughed. But like, you know,
So it'll be like listening to this podcast.
dude, don't think about the love story too hard in that movie. Anyway, they introduce the armadillo, which is basically like their rig crawler kind of thing that with the drill on it.
Yeah, it's like a big asteroid Jeep with a minigun and a drill.
And yeah, minigun and a drill for the aliens, and a Remington bow action rifle to fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals.
I mean, honestly, the most American thing I can think in space is like, we gotta go drill for oil on space with guns. Like, that just feels like America stupid. Like, that just feels like the dumbest shit we would do, you know? And you know, the thing is, like, I bet at some point space exploration will get to a point where we're like, oh shit, there's like an asteroid made of diamonds. Let's go mine that shit. And we will send like, I don't think it'll be manned, but like unmanned drones or whatever to go mine this kind of thing.
Yeah, drill oil in space with guns sounds less like a screenplay and more like something Toby Keith scrawls on napkins. And like, it would, honestly though, at the time, America at the time, of course.
Oh yeah. I mean, at the time, Toby Keith was still alive.
I know. If you did this now, it would be ironic. I'd still enjoy it, but you know,
Yeah.
we'd be like, ha ha ha. It'd be like President Camacho up there drilling for oil in space with guns. Anyway, so we meet the pilots who are like actual astronauts, and then they put them in like fighter jets. They take them up, whatever.
Yeah, they're like training them for like the G's that they'll be subjected to. And they're showing them the new like high-tech space plane that they are spaceship.
Right.
They're the X-71s or whatever. I don't think they really exist, but that's what they call them in the movie. And they're called the Freedom and Independence because of course they are.
X-71s? I don't think they exist.
We need to do that for like our next 100th. Like we got to do the Princess Bride.
Yeah, where are we?
Paige, I'm in Nashville. You're in LA.
I mean, numbers wise, because I would love to talk about that movie.
No, I know what you meant. I'm just checking because I clearly don't remember either. We're at 260, Paige. Mask of Zorro comes out tomorrow. Actually, Mask of Zorro comes out in 2 hours. And we're at 260.
All right, so 40. What, almost a year?
Yeah, that sounds right. Let's do it.
Anyway, back to this.
Yes.
So we get more asteroid footage because they keep sneaking through. The time people are like, what keeps hitting everything? And NASA's like,
well, this is where the South Pacific gets bombed.
Yes.
I think it's specifically Shanghai. And I keep saying bombed. It's just like the asteroids. Like,
it's the asteroid.
yeah.
And America the whole time was just like, I'll never tell.
We literally only confirmed it. Like we did not warn them. And they do show us making that decision. And I thought it was insane they included that because it's like someone coming in like, hey, we just got word or we just saw that they're about to get hit in Shanghai. And they're like, fuck them. Like what? Pick up the phone and say something. Like that's insane.
But even if they did, what could you have done?
Well, okay. It depends on how much time you have. If you have like 3 minutes, nothing. If you have like 4 hours, you call everybody in Shanghai.
They had 12 minutes in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so
12 minutes, you're the president. I would call whoever I could in Shanghai.
yeah, but, well, and especially because we find out later that in Shanghai, 60,000 people die. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so 29/11.
Yes. And I'm not saying no one would have died, but like, I don't know, if maybe 3 minutes before it happens, a siren went off that said, get to a safe space, more people would have lived.
Right, but do they even have the ability to survive it? Because it's not like you could get into a bomb shelter and survive those.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, they now are like, oh, don't worry, we got a team going up there to be in space. And this is where they're like talking to Owen Wilson, and he's like, so what's it like up there? And they're like, scariest environment imaginable. And he's just like, wow.
I do love that he's like asking them about it and they're just explaining it like scientists would. And he goes, okay, you can just say like scariest environment imaginable. That's all I'm hearing. And that's what I'm going to remember from this.
Yes. This is also like, because this is all basically one big montage that's just kind of like going. So we also get like Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler like kissing inside of like an engine. And Bruce Willis gets all mad. And then Owen Wilson's just like, she's young, exploring her body. Wow. And you're like, I hate this.
Well, and Steve Buscemi too. Like a bunch of them are like, listen, man, I realize she's your daughter, but she's like an adult. And he is like age appropriate. It's not like she's dating one of us, you know, like.
Right.
You could do worse. I realize it's not what you wanted. And he's just very much like, I work so hard so she wouldn't have to marry somebody like me.
My hands look like this so her hands can look like this. Like that meme.
And it just shows her with that like small engagement ring on her finger.
I like that. I like a small ring.
I thought it was cute too, but like normally in movies, you get like a huge fuck off diamond that is like unrealistic.
Well, it's only because you can see it on camera.
I know, but they didn't do that in this movie. I think that this one's actually kind of accurate to what it would have been like for someone in like their mid-20s, you know?
Yeah.
But also, Paige, wouldn't it have been dope as shit if like he like broke off a diamond from space and then you see that on her hand at the end of the movie? What?
Okay, but except that every time she looks back at it, she's like, oh, where my dad died. Like, you know, like. Oh.
Yeah, where your dad died.
Where your dad died.
Where your dad saved the world. I mean, it would be a complex set of emotions.
Sure.
Because your dad would be the most famous literal savior ever.
Yeah. Anyway, we do get them back in the water at one point where Ben Affleck burns out a transmission. This scene is only here so that we know that can happen because it happens thrice later in the film.
I know.
Anyway, they now are like, okay, I want 10 hours off for my men. They can do whatever they want. And then we meet back in Florida to launch. And so like Steve Buscemi gets a loan that he has no intent to pay back, which I think is very funny.
Okay, but this is a no-lose situation, and he does this not for just himself.
No, he does it for everybody.
He takes everybody out with this $100,000, which is great.
Yeah, good for him.
But there's no losing in this situation because there's no way he's not going to get at least $100,000 at the end of this mission.
Right, or die.
Yeah, he's either going to die or return a literal savior of the world.
Right.
It's a no-lose situation.
This is the one scene that I super remembered from watching this as a child, where we get the like animal crackers scene where he's like walking the animal crackers.
Oh yeah, the time where you're like, oh damn, he does kind of look like the kind of guy who that's the only thing he's going to eat in this sex scene.
But this is where we also get the like, don't want to close my eyes. Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, babe.
And I don't want to miss your thing. Or whatever the lyrics are.
That song is like 6 minutes fucking long. It's so long. And it's bonkers.
Fun fact about that song, Paige.
Yes.
Aerosmith's first number one hit ever.
That does not surprise me. It was huge at the time.
It also, they didn't write the song.
Who wrote it?
I don't know. Somebody wrote the song.
And to stay locked in this moment for all the rest of time.
Yeah. I do love the song. It's great.
It's a wild song. It goes places.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Chick goes back to see what we assume is the mother of his child. We don't know much more about it. Although we do know that she's like, the court says you can't be here. And I was like, oh, why?
Yeah, like I don't know what Chick did, but it was bad. Because that kid doesn't know him. Like the mom says, it's just a salesman, go back inside. And then like 3 minutes later, we see them getting on the shuttle and like everybody knows what's going on Earth now.
Right.
So like he's a hero clearly, whether he succeeds or not, you know?
Right.
And so she's like,
that's your dad.
I know, when the son's like, oh, look, it's that salesman. She's like, that's not a salesman. That's your dad.
Well, and he gave him like a little shuttle and stuff. But I think in this scene, she's like, you can't come here. It confuses him. So, which made me think that maybe he just didn't have custody because he works on the oil rig or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But whenever you say the court says you can't be here, I assume the worst.
Yeah.
I assume bad things. Anyway.
Paige, fun fact really quick. It was Diane Warren who wrote I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. If you don't recognize that name, she also wrote Blame It on the Rain for Milli Vanilli. She wrote Unbreak My Heart for Toni Braxton. Obviously, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. She wrote Have You Ever for Brandy. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now for Jefferson Starship. Yeah, this is not her only hit. But yeah, she's the one that wrote I Don't Want to Miss a Thing that Aerosmith performs.
That's incredible. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so everyone comes back just in time, even after getting arrested at the strip club.
I did think it was funny that, like, as they're getting arrested at the strip club, Steve Buscemi's like, I'm going to have the CIA and FBI all over your ass.
Yep. And while that's happening is when Shanghai gets basically destroyed.
Right.
And they're like, Dottie has gone public.
Because, Paige,
yes,
both Shanghai and wherever these people are in America experience night at the same time.
At the same time, I saw that. I was like,
I know.
What?
I was like, this movie knows how dumb we are. It just doesn't. It just knows we don't care.
Yep. But everyone shows up in Florida the next day.
Yes.
Because now they're like, we got to launch like right now.
Yeah. Because they live, I think they have like 2 days left, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. It's like, it's pretty close, right? So like, Paige, one question.
Yes.
Why are they launching both shuttles from the same launch pad within seconds of each other? Why don't they launch, I don't know, one at Cape Canaveral or whatever and one at Houston? It's not like their commute is demonstrably different. They're going to space.
But their trajectory is based on the Earth's rotation. And that's the calculation that they've made.
Yeah, but that's only for getting out of Earth's orbit. Like, that's not the trajectory they needed to use to, like, get going faster. That's what they're using the moon for. Like, they are just as far away from the moon at Cape Canaveral as they are Houston. And why would you shoot a rocket off on one side of a launch pad and then another one on the other seconds later. Like, there's so much room for disaster there.
That is true. I didn't think about that. I thought about it more of like they're watching both of them.
And they're going to space, Paige. They're going like to the moon.
True.
Guys, if you're going to go to the moon, just go to Cape Canaveral. It's much faster. If you take off from Houston, you got to go. It's the same distance.
Right. But like, I think this is purely for movie, right?
Yes, it 100% is purely for movie because they have them doing barrel rolls in space together.
Yeah, in unison.
Like they're the black angels. I don't know what the space version of that would be.
The blue angels.
Well, no, but that's on Earth because it's a blue planet.
Sure.
In space, no one can hear you jet.
I guess.
I don't know what you would call them.
Trash bandicoots. I don't know. It's like a whole, barrel rolls.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gracie gets a chance to talk to Bruce Willis before he gets on the shuttles where he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I still love you, but like, don't talk like you're not coming back.
Yeah, it is really sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet.
But she makes him promise that he's going to come back alive.
Yes.
And he technically doesn't.
Yeah, liar.
I mean, he kind of does, I guess. I mean, he does apologize for breaking the promise, so it is implied, I think.
Yeah, but she also gets everyone sings Leaving on a Jet Plane for her and Ben Affleck. Very sweet. But then we get I shit you not, almost 4-minute long montage of people listening to the president's speech about Armageddon.
Yeah. And it is not as good as the Independence Day speech, guys.
It's not. It really isn't. Bill Pullman really pulls his weight in that Independence Day one. But like the Independence Day one is more dynamic because it's like aliens are here to fuck our shit up and we won't fucking take that because we're fucking Earth. And you're like, damn straight.
Right.
This one is more just like the Bible calls the end of days Armageddon. And we kind of hope that doesn't happen. But just in case it does, bye-bye. Like it's a weird speech.
Yeah.
Listen up, Sweat Stain. You can do it. I believe in you.
Bye-bye. Everything comes back to dodgeball in the end, Paige. Everything.
Everything comes back to Rip Torn and his wild, drunken antics. Anyway, they lock in to the shuttles. This whole scene of them getting like clipped in, mission control check, everything. This is literally 12 minutes.
It's insane how long it takes.
It takes so fucking long. And then when they actually launch, everyone just like rattling around in their spacesuits, like another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They get to space. And once they get up there, they're like, hey, heads up. The guy that like the Russian space station's like 11 years old. And the guy living there's been there for 18 months. Also, it's Peter Stormare. So like, it's going to be weird.
I was so scared that he was going to get killed immediately, especially like from what I remembered, because I didn't remember that he survived.
I did not remember him in this movie at all.
But I did remember the spaceship blowing up. So I was like, oh no, I love this guy. I'm sure he's going to die when the spaceship blows up because that's what I remembered.
It's when I started thinking about Lockout because he was also in Lockout
Yes,
as an
he was.
American
He was a bad
politician
guy.
with a crazy accent.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was not good. Anyway, they go to try and fuel up and he's trying to walk Ben Affleck through it, but this ship or this space station is in disrepair.
Yeah.
The pipes are leaking. There's a fire in one of the fuel pods. They have to make a run for it. Thankfully, they get enough fuel, but they almost leave Ben Affleck behind, but he and Peter Stormare, the cosmonaut Lev, climb out and make it into the shuttle Independence right before it takes off.
As this is happening, like the space station is falling apart, things are exploding, literally the hallway they're running down without like spacesuits on.
Right.
Like the other side of it has just been ripped off and they're like 10 steps from the door they've got to get in.
Right.
Like they would have immediately have been sucked out into space and died.
Yes.
But they are still able to run and get in before like, I don't know, they get sucked out into space. They just like are fine. It was so funny.
It's bonkers, but they do make it in.
The movie just knows how dumb we are. That's all I'm saying.
They do. But both ships take off. They go into their lunar roll with no comms. They come around to the asteroid and they're like, wow, what a crazy view. But immediately the Independence is like, hey, I'm coming in rough. And there's an asteroid field on the tail of this asteroid. They get hit. They crash land on the asteroid.
Literally crash land. Like a lot of them
Yes.
die. And the reason some of them don't die is because they got in the cargo bay and then like they put their spacesuit on more or less.
Right.
Because everyone in like the cockpit dies unless they had their spacesuit on and secured. And Owen Wilson dies even though he had his on because I think debris cracked the screen, right?
Yeah, debris cracks his...
Or the helmet.
So Owen Wilson is literally only in this movie for 40 minutes. He's there to, while they're around doing training stuff, be like, wow, scary, wow. And then like they buckle him in. He's like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to go to space. Wow. And then he dies. That's it. Like that's the whole thing. Anyway, they crash land. We don't know who is alive or who is dead yet from that crash landing.
NASA thinks they're all dead, or all the people on that ship, including Ben Affleck. So like we do see like Liv Tyler like crying a lot after this, and like
right,
because she thinks her fiance is dead. Like it makes sense, but
it makes sense. She thinks her fiance is dead. But also, this is also where, like, we cut back and forth to NASA and they're losing comms with Freedom, too. So they're like, this is going bad. This whole thing might be going bad.
It is going bad. I mean, yeah, like one whole ship is dead, they think. It's going very bad. And they're like, well, we might be losing comms with the Independence, the one that's still around.
Right.
Like the ship that did land like an airplane on an asteroid, which is insane.
So crazy.
But like that one.
That's the Freedom, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the Freedom is like the one that is like up and running, right?
Right.
But they might lose comms after 7 minutes. And then because of some like high military like tomfoolery, they could then still set off the nuke for another 5 minutes.
Right.
So like there's this whole conversation and like whole sidetrack argument of, do we blow the nuke now with them on it, when we already have established by the movie that that's not gonna like do anything, like it's not gonna help at all. It's too late for that kind of thing. So like, I really hated that we spent another 15 minutes on will they, won't they on this when we knew they weren't going to because it wouldn't work.
Well, and we know that there's 40 minutes left in the movie. And so we know that they're not going to. But we do find out that they've blown their landing. So they landed on a harder thing to drill into, but they're going to try and do it anyway, even though they blow a transmission. But at the point that they blow a transmission, that's when the question really becomes, do we detonate?
Yes.
Now, meanwhile, we cut back to the Independence, and Lev is still alive, AJ's still alive, Bear is still alive, and they have the other armadillo. So they're trying to drive it to the other ship.
I forgot that this movie has an Evel Knievel Grand Canyon jump in it.
Yes.
Good God. This is so, like, it's honestly, it's fun. I love it, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb. Meanwhile, the other ones, they're like, hey, try to get the president not to detonate the nuke, but the nuke turns on. What are we going to do? And they're like, well, we don't want to waste a bomb because if we blow it up and nothing happens, then we're just fucking shit out of luck.
Yeah, we're fucked. Like literally, that's the end of it.
Yeah, we don't even have time to send somebody else up there. So Bruce Willis essentially, and this becomes like an argument gunfight because this is where he pulls the gun out of its safe where it's just been rattling around for the whole flight.
Yes.
But this is where he basically convinces them like, I have never missed a deadline. Please, like, deactivate this bomb. While they're arguing, back down at Mission Control, Billy Bob Thornton is like, hey, can you like reset the router really quick to one of the guys who does, which makes them lose contact with the bomb, but only for a couple minutes because then the bomb is up and running again.
I do love that, like, the way you explained that was like someone went to the IT office and unplugged the router. And they were like, what happened? Why did we lose signal?
What's the password again? Mac and cheese 69? Yeah.
That actually does kind of sound like some NASA shit. Like just a bunch of nerds eating mac and cheese.
But also, I don't know if maybe this isn't the case with your router, but I know it's the case with mine. And when I was in New York with Crystal and her husband's router, where it's just 2 random words and a series of numbers. Like, you don't even get to choose passwords anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Ours is just, like, on the back of the router. And it's like, and they're all stuff like, Bag Tiger 52. And you're just like, what?
Paige, why are you giving people your actual Wi-Fi password?
That's what's up. Like, Yarn Mug 55. And yeah, and you just have to like...
Paige is literally just naming things that she sees on her desk right now.
I love lamp. Pizza friend, terrifying. Yeah, like,
wow.
You know.
Wow.
Anyway, so, but the bomb starts up again. They talk him into like stopping the bomb. He does. And he's like, let us fucking finish. Okay, fine. They stop it at 3 seconds, basically.
Yes. And honestly, they only stop this one at 3 seconds so they can stop the last one at 1 second.
Yeah. Yes.
You can't do the same beat twice in a movie, but you can do a very similar beat as long as they're at least 2 seconds apart, Paige.
Right. But he's like, you've got a problem because I promised I'd be coming home and we got a hole to dig up here. And NASA's like, yay! And it's like, bro, what are you talking? It's still delayed. Like it's still bad. Anyway, as they're like trying to drill, they get the transmission in, they're still drilling, but there's an earthquake. It kind of like knocks them off balance. It kills Max because like there's like a fire and he basically cooks inside the armadillo. So now they're also down an armadillo.
It's because they hit like a gas pocket, right? So it's like changing the air pressure. And they had like, I don't know how to say it other than clipped his armadillo in with like charges, you know, they like, it's like digging a little hole and then anchoring the thing there because it's going to have to drill.
Right.
And so because he's cooking in that thing because the gas is hitting him, he is like, I gotta cut myself loose, and he does, and he gets shot into fucking space, and we never see him again. Like, he probably lived for 2 more days starving to death.
Or frozen space.
That's true. It could be that, too. Yeah, it depends on the life systems on board. You're right.
Well, and I don't think that, it's true, because he's inside, so maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. They never address it.
They don't. He's gone, and we never think about him again. It's very sad.
No, but Steve Buscemi does take the gun that was on the armadillo that I guess they took off for some reason and just starts firing randomly because he's like, we're dead. We're dead here forever. Like,
he's got the space dementia, Paige. You know, the diagnosable disease space dementia.
I've got it. I've got cabin fever. And then a fun Muppet song. Like, that's... Yes. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Paris got?
Yeah.
Paris get destroyed. But the Arc de Triomphe still standing.
Of course.
Anyway, at this point, who should show up but the other armadillo? Which, can I just say, if I was Bruce Willis standing on the asteroid and I assumed everyone else was dead, and then I saw the lights of a vehicle,
I would assume I had space madness. I'm not even joking. I would be like, oh God, I got the space dementia.
My first thought was like, aliens? Like, it was just...
Give me the minigun! Like, 100%. Yeah.
This is why they gave it to us, right? Also, I forgot to ask you, what would you do on your last day on Earth if you knew you were going to fly to space and drill for a nuke?
I don't know. Spend time with Natalie? Like, yeah, like just that.
Boring, but fine.
I mean, yeah, I would want to see my loved ones, you know?
Yeah. I'd murder somebody like the Purge. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't. I mean, what are you going to do? Lock me up forever? I'll be in space.
I did think it was a weird request that they were like, we don't want to pay taxes, and then one night a year, we get to purge.
We get to purge. Just give me one shot at him. Just like one from far away. If I miss, that's fine. Just send me to space. But if I hit him, also send me to space.
Yeah, go to space either way.
Let's go.
Like Ethan Hawke and Gattaca, Paige.
Ooh, is Gattaca? No.
It is a romance. You're insane. It's more romantic than this movie.
I don't know. There's a wedding in it.
Also, didn't we do Gattaca already?
No, we didn't. We didn't do Gattaca. What did we do instead? No, we did the one with Chris, the worst Chris, where they get locked inside that thing.
How have we not done Gattaca?
I don't know, but it'll have to wait because we have like a really good theme idea for next month.
I, no joke, love that movie, and I recognize it's got problems, but I love it. Anyway, we'll move on. But yes, we need to do Gattaca at some point.
Anyway, Steve Buscemi's duct taped on the ship like it was built on a Southwest plane, and they start drilling again. And Ben Affleck is like, trust me, I'm not gonna blow the transmission. I'm gonna push through. They do it. They get to the 800 feet. Yay! But then they get hit by asteroids on the asteroid. Little hat on a hat.
Yeah, it is. It's very hat on a hat, Paige, because yes, asteroid on an asteroid, it's literally a hat on a hat. It literally is.
Yeah.
But Paige, this is where Chick insinuates that the asteroid is trying to protect itself.
Yes.
Because they're trying to destroy it. Like it's a big fucking dragon and they just drilled down to its heart and they're going to drop a nuke in it.
Yes. Deep in the cave of smog.
Right.
Yeah, or whatever.
Exactly.
Yes. But, and okay, I have a theory now watching this as an adult. I think that when the guy disabled the nuke, he knew it would make it impossible for them to detonate remote. And he knew someone was going to have to stay behind.
You mean the pilot guy?
Yes.
Maybe.
And he just didn't tell them until they drilled the hole. And I think he intended to do it. But also later he's like, I got to fly this thing.
Yeah, he can't do it. He can't stay behind. But that doesn't mean, to me, I don't think that means he would tell them in that moment.
Yeah.
I think he would hold it back because he knows it doesn't matter to me because I still am leaving. I got to fly this thing.
Yeah. But thus begins the, like, they've got 18 minutes to basically, like, decide who's going to stay, who's going to do it. They draw straws. Ben Affleck draws the shortest straw, and he's going to go down there and do it, to his credit.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he is bummed about it, clearly, but he's like, all right, well.
Tell Gracie I love her. Yeah.
If I gotta die, I may as well die being the savior of the earth. Like, there's worse ways to go out.
100%. And can I tell you, like, watching this as a grown-up, like, as a kid, I think I was like, no, there had to have been a way where they could both, whatever. As an adult, I'm like, there's no guarantee that shuttle's getting back to Earth. Like, who knows if it can fly? It's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Who knows if they have enough fuel? You could easily die a horrifying death out in space. Or you could, if they do make it back, you're a fucking hero.
Yeah.
And at least you died saving everybody. Like, at least that death means something.
They will be singing songs about you for 1,000 years. Like, yeah.
Yes.
You saved the earth.
Yeah. And like, Steve Buscemi wants to go so he doesn't have to pay because he's got the space dementia, but also so he doesn't have to pay that loan. And Bruce Willis, like, volunteers too. Like, multiple people are like, I'll do it.
The cosmonaut's like, I'm not going to go and not say I didn't volunteer, so let's do this. Yeah.
Right.
Everyone who steps up to, like, take a straw, like, technically volunteers to do it, I think, you know?
Yes. Yeah. But of course, Bruce Willis gets down there, pushes AJ back in, is like, take care of my daughter. And you're like, no.
He literally says, I've always seen you as a son. Like, it's so sad. It's like Bruce Willis just knew, like, the speech he was going to give Ben Affleck on his wedding day or whatever, and he just gives it to him right now. And it's, like, soul crushing.
Yes. Oh, and it makes me just fucking sob.
Yeah. I cry every time I watch this movie. I remember crying in the theaters at this point, and I don't think I saw it since then until tonight, and I knew I was going to cry, and I did.
I remember this scene from however many times I watched this when I was younger, and knew I was going to cry in it again, and I still was not ready for how hard I cried.
Yeah.
But the shuttle tries to take off. It can't. Thrusters. And it's cutting back and forth between that and Bruce Willis keeps getting hit by asteroids, and like, because he's trying to give them time to lift off. They finally get out of the atmosphere. He gets knocked down into a hole and then climbs back up and presses the button. It splits the asteroid in half, which, by the way, if you watch this on Amazon, where if you do the little x-ray thing, it has a little fun fact where it's like, this is actually not possible. Most asteroids are two asteroids split together, so it's actually pretty easy to split them apart. I was just like, wait, what? But it splits, it misses Earth. They return to Earth
by 400 miles.
By 400 miles.
Which seems pretty close to me. Like, that seems pretty close. Yeah, like.
Yeah, but they land on Earth. They're fine. And the pilot does the whole, like, Sharp, I think is his name. He's like, I just permission to shake the hand of the bravest man I've ever met. And he gives Truman, Bruce Willis's patch that just says, like, for all mankind, and it, like, focuses on it.
Yeah.
And then we cut to their wedding where they have pictures of all the dead astronauts. And that's the movie.
So having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you think about Armageddon?
It does not hold up.
No.
It does not hold up.
I do think it is fun and worth seeing. Like, it is a bonkers movie with an insane premise that everyone takes very seriously.
Yes.
And that, to me, makes the whole movie almost kind of a campy fun.
Yes.
Because they're walking around in space like they're on Earth.
Yes.
And it's crazy, but, like, the movie is just straight up fun from an action standpoint. Like, it's got it's a Michael Bay movie. It's got, like, the explosions in various parts of the world, so you get, like, a lot of globe-trotting explosions, and it's a lot of fun. But it's not a good movie. The science is flawed. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson somewhere in the back of a theater in 1998 was just angrily taking notes and shaking his head.
Oh, man.
But Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
I do.
Well, hit us with your fun facts.
Armageddon fun facts. We'll start out with this. NASA shows this film during their management training program, and new managers are given the task of trying to spot as many errors as possible.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
The highest number so far has been 168.
That seems low, honestly.
Regarding the premise of the film, when talking to Michael Bay about the process and starring in the film, Ben Affleck, quote, asked, quote, wouldn't it be easier for NASA to train astronauts how to drill rather than training drillers to be astronauts? And reportedly, Michael Bay said, quote, Shut the fuck up.
Man, you could tell that's like the 90th time he got that note.
Now, they did shoot on location at NASA.
I'm sorry, on the asteroid?
No.
Oh, okay,
Whenever
at
they're
NASA,
like
okay.
mission control at
Yeah,
NASA.
okay.
At NASA. And it's largely because the movie was very patriotic and the success of using Top Gun as recruitment material for the Air Force and the Navy.
Oh, man.
NASA allowed them to shoot in a normally restricted space agency, which included their neutral buoyancy lab, the pool where they did for weightlessness, and the use of two $10 million spacesuits. The crew was also allowed to shoot in the historic launch pad that went out of service after the Apollo 1 disaster, and parts of the movie were filmed at Edwards Air Force Base in California.
Yeah. I mean, the whole like becoming an asteroid montage does feel kind of like Top Gun.
Yeah.
They even have like the quote hot pilot, you know, like the Kelly McGinnis kind of character or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Rocket Man? Not, and I want to be clear, not the one that is a biopic about Elton John.
Are you talking about the Rocketeer?
No.
Then no, I haven't.
I'm talking about the one with Harlan Williams where he's like an accidental astronaut, like all the astronauts die and he's like the only one left. And so like
Harlan Williams?
Yes.
Williams? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, I have not seen that.
And they put him in like the gyro chair and everything, but he's like this super weird dude that magically is able to be the most successful astronaut and saves everybody. But that's one of the only other things I think that's been filmed in some of these NASA locations. And it's wild. I think most of that one's at the Air and Space Museum, though.
Just like the right stuff.
Yeah. Bruce Willis has said that he did not care for Michael Bay's directing style and refused to work with him ever again.
I mean, I've heard some things, so I don't know.
Here's the thing. I have heard things both ways.
I've heard things about Bruce Willis, too. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. When asked why he did this film, Steve Buscemi said, quote, "I wanted a bigger house."
I mean, and also, this movie was hella famous. So, like,
Yeah,
it was
so
the right
much.
call for everyone in this movie. It was very successful.
Michael Clark Duncan improvised the line, "Come and get Papa Bear." Papa Bear would go on to be one of his nicknames for the rest of his life in the industry.
Oh, Papa Bear.
I miss Papa Bear.
I know.
He was so good. Anyway, so Bruce Willis initially didn't want to be in this movie. He came to this movie's production after he was working on a comedy called Broadway Brawler, and it couldn't be salvaged and had to find a way to get out of the project. Disney, the head of Disney at the time, a guy named Joe Roth, worked out a deal where Willis would star in Armageddon and 2 future films for the studio, and in exchange, Disney would absorb the failed project's cost as an advance against his initial salary.
Wow.
The 2 films he later made under this deal were The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So out of that deal, out of that failed comedy, you get Armageddon, The Sixth Sense, and Unbreakable. Incredible track record,
Right?
honestly.
Yeah, those are some of his biggest movies.
Yes. Rockhound's line about sitting on 1 million pounds of fuel in a rocket built by the lowest bidder is a variation on an actual radio transmission by Mercury astronaut Alan Shepard just prior to liftoff.
I love that. That's awesome.
Michael Bay had the actors write their list of demands on the papers from which Bruce Willis read. So apparently there were other options on there too that didn't make it into the movie.
Awesome. I would love to see those papers. Like that. I just want to see what Michael Clark Duncan's alts were, you know, like those.
Yeah. So remember how I brought up Con Air literally the year before this and
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi's character being the same? So when Steve Buscemi signed on to do this project, he claimed that Rockhound was pitched to him as a heroic geologist, and he eagerly accepted, wanting a change of character from the typecasting he had had.
Yeah.
But after he was cast, they wrote sleazy characteristics into the script.
Oh my God.
Oopsies.
That's kind of funny though. Oh my God.
The shuttle launches were filmed for real. Disney was allowed to put cameras, about 16 cameras of them, all over the launch pad. And the camera on the launch pad was shaken so hard, 25 Gs, that all of the screws fell out of the lens and they had to return the camera to Panavision in a box of pieces.
Good God.
Yep.
Those cameras, especially back in the day, were so expensive. Like, that's insane.
So Billy Bob Thornton's character has its own backstory. Now, there is one shot in the movie that kind of alludes to this, and he has kind of a speech about it. But his backstory was that he was on track to join NASA as an astronaut, but suffered crippling nerve damage as a young man and was only able to serve as an administrator. That shot of his foot is meant to kind of suggest that.
That's why Bruce Willis gives him the patch, because in that scene, he's like, I always envied the guys with the mission patches. And that's why he rips his off and says, give it to him.
Yeah.
I loved that moment. Yeah.
Now, that was not originally in the script, and neither was the shot of his leg.
Wow,
Michael
really?
Bay added that after Billy Bob Thornton told him his backstory that he had.
Oh, man, I love that. That's great.
Yes. Remember that I said they shot on the actual launch pad? The only condition was that they were not supposed to step into the shuttle itself. Ben Affleck, unfortunately, admitted to stepping inside the orbiter for a brief moment before NASA technicians ordered him out of the spacecraft.
I mean, yeah, it's a space. Get out.
Yes. I'll end on this one because this is pretty fun. Concerning the dog in the opening scene, Lil Richard, Michael Bay noted that as a rule, you never kill a dog. This is a screenwriting thing.
It is.
So much so that a book designed to teach people how to write movies, there's like a series of them about writing, and they are called Save the Cat.
Yeah.
Because you are not allowed to kill pets.
Unless you're Stephen King.
Unless killing a pet signals that someone is evil.
Yes.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
So you can't have like a regular person do it. Anyway. But Michael Bay basically said that the animal that they hired, the dog, was trained to specifically destroy Godzilla dogs and was shipped to the set basically at the price of $20,000 a day. So that dog made $20,000 a day for that one shot.
Amazing.
And they had to hold cardboard boxes up in front of the Godzilla dolls to keep the dog from just constantly destroying them until it was time.
Because that was what it was trained to do. Yeah.
And it was a deliberate joke to basically make fun of Godzilla, which came out the same year, the one with, what's his face?
Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick, yes.
Yeah.
Which was the box office rival for Armageddon that year. So slightly over a month before this movie, but they knew that it was going to hit around the same time.
Yeah.
In the end, Armageddon does end up outperforming Godzilla by more than $170 million.
Yeah, that Godzilla movie wasn't great.
No, and those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a little bit about that box office. So, Paige, what do you think the production budget was for Armageddon in 1998?
I think this cost $80 million.
Oh, Paige. It was $140 million.
Jesus Christ.
And if you adjust that for inflation, because remember, this is 1998. That's $277 million.
That's so much money.
It's an insane amount of money.
I know it made it back because I know this movie was like so crazy popular.
Yeah.
And for as much as we have made fun of how bad this movie looks, it is all on the screen for that period of time. Like with the amount of A, star power in this movie, B, shooting at fucking NASA, shooting real rockets and shit. Yes.
Yeah. And
all the explosions. I get why this cost $140 million. That's still a whole fuck of a lot of money for one movie.
It's so much, yeah. So it came out the weekend of July 3rd, 1998. So summer blockbuster. Perfect timing. And it was number one that weekend. It beat the number 2 movie was Dr. Dolittle. Number 3 was Mulan. Number 4 was Out of Sight. And number 5 was The X-Files Fight the Future. Also in theaters, The Truman Show was number 6. 6 Days, 7 Nights, which we've done on this, was 7. Hope Floats, also in theaters. Godzilla was 13th this week, but you had mentioned this. It was in its 7th week, so it had been out for a while already.
It had been out for a while, although I'm pretty sure I saw Godzilla in theaters, and I don't think I saw this in theaters. I might be wrong.
I didn't see Godzilla. I definitely saw this in theaters. But Paige, what do you think it made in its opening weekend? It being Armageddon and its opening weekend being July 3rd, 1998.
Opening weekend, 4th of July, I bet this makes 60 mil opening weekend.
Technically, it was the 3rd of July, which is only important if you live in Maryland because they technically celebrate that as their Independence Day because they became independent on the 3rd. I do not know why. But Paige, it made $36 million in its opening weekend.
That's still huge for an opening weekend.
It is huge. I mean, Dr. Dolittle, that was second that weekend, brought in 19.6. It did very, very well. Now, this movie was in the theaters for a total of 23 weeks. It was in the top 5 for its first full-ass month, Paige.
Ooh, yeah.
And it fell to 8th in its 5th week, 9th in its 6th week, then 10th in its 7th week. And now, normally what I say is it was never again in the top 10. which is not true for this movie because in its 11th week, and Paige, it was the weekend of September 11th, 1998. It was back at 9th, and it was back at 9th again the subsequent week, its 12th week out. And then it fell to 11th and was never again in the top 10. But again, it was in theaters for 23 weeks total. What do you think it made domestically at the box office?
I think this hits 200 million domestic.
Paige, just over it. It's $201.5 million.
I'm so close.
Yeah, very, very close. Great guess. If you adjust that for inflation, just domestically, that would be almost $400 million. It's $398.9 million. But again, that's just domestically. Paige, it also brought in another $353 million internationally. So a total of $549.6 million.
Woo, that's Avengers money, man. Like, that's, woof.
I mean, yeah, but that's, again, this is $1998.
Yep.
If you
Yeah.
adjust that $554.6 million for inflation to today's dollars, that puts it at $1 billion. It's $1,097.4 million.
So crazy. That's so much money.
Godzilla did well.
Yeah.
Just to like put a button in that. Its production budget was $125 million, and worldwide it brought in $376 million.
So it did fine.
So it wasn't a bomb by any means, but
No.
Armageddon did kick its lizardy ass for sure.
That Godzilla movie is wild because that's the one where they walk into Madison Square Garden and it's full of eggs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Godzilla is having babies.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But Paige, that's your box office. So do you want to hit us with that romance scale?
How romantic did we find this movie today on a scale of 1 to oil rig? Todd.
I'm definitely going oil rig. Is oil rig lower than 1? Because it should be. It's definitely a 1. It's like not romantic at all. Like there's no romance between them. They're already in love when the movie starts, and then they send the male lead in the romance to space.
Yeah.
So they never see each other until the very end.
I'm going to give it a 1.5 for the animal crackers.
Paige, how dare you? It's the only thing he ate in that sex scene.
Well, until before the camera cut away. Anyway, that's your romance scale.
Paige, he's a white guy from Boston. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Fair. That's your romance scale. Do we want to tell them what's happening for the next month?
Yes, Paige, this week, I guess we made them watch, or you made us watch Armageddon. What are we doing next week for our new theme? And what are we kicking it off with?
Let me set this up for you. We have not really done any animated films on this podcast for a number of reasons, right?
Sure.
I feel like animated films exist on a spectrum where there are some that I think have the storytelling and the production value and amazing quality that like live action films do, and I have no problem including them in those conversations. And then there are some that do not. And we have been recommended everything on that spectrum.
Yeah.
Now, Todd at one point was like, should we do an animated month? And I was like, that's a lot of animated at once.
No, my pitch was, I had just gotten back from a Disney cruise, guys, so just know that. I was like, why haven't we done any Disney movies?
Yes.
Because like all of the Prince and Princess movies are like rom-coms, more or less.
Yes. And those are the ones that I would say are of a quality that is similar to live action films.
Yeah.
But then somebody in the Facebook group made a different suggestion that I also really like, where they were like, what if you did one Disney movie? And the recommendation they had was Robin Hood,
Yes.
because it was a Disney movie.
And I think we should do that because we could do Men in Tights.
Yes.
We could do Prince of Thieves.
Yes.
We could do the Disney animated Robin Hood.
Yes. So now here's the thing. That's a great idea.
Oh, and then Russell Crowe has a Robin Hood, doesn't he?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. No, trust me. That was my jumping off point, and I was like, that's hilarious and brilliant.
Yes, I love it.
To do essentially 1 month of the same story a bunch of different ways, and one of them is animated.
If we do that though, Paige, I need your sister, and I know she's busy, like about to has a baby.
Yeah.
We need her to do a cover of Everything I Do by Bryan Adams.
Everything I
so we
do,
could do that for like the
do
intro
it
music for that
for
whole
me.
month. Yeah.
I'll figure that out.
Yes.
We're not doing Robin Hood as our first one.
No, we're not starting there.
We're not starting there. We will get there because that is a hilarious idea. But
Yes.
we figured if we did kind of the same thing, we should start with one of the only animated movies to ever be nominated for Best Picture, which is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. So we're going to start with Beauty and the Beast.
Heck yeah.
But then for the rest of the month, we're doing different iterations of Beauty and the Beast. And if you think I have not picked wild ones, you mistaken, because Beauty and the Beast has some wild iterations. And no, we're not going to do the live action one. We're watching the animated one. It's better. And then we're watching some wild shit, and it's going to be great.
Do you want to tell them what the other ones are? Like,
Sure. So I pulled, we're doing Beauty and the Beast, the animated version.
Right.
Then we're doing Beautician and the Beast with Fran Drescher. Then we're doing Beastly with Alex Pettyfer. And then finally, we're doing Your Monster, which is the one that a bunch of you have recommended because it looks like Jake. And I'm thrilled. We're going to have a wild month. So it is Beauty and the Beast month. Prepare yourselves for a myriad of different variations of Beauty and the Beast, starting with what I think is one of the best versions, the original animated version.
yeah, from 1991, the Disney animated classic Beauty and the Beast. Check it out, guys, and then report back for that episode where we talk a lot about Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes, but also I will say, if you have not watched Beauty and the Beast in a while, know that A, it was nominated for an Oscar, and then when you rewatch it, you're like, I get it. I know why this was nominated for an Oscar. This is one of the best Disney films there is, both in quality, music, all of it. Anyway, that's your next one. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And hey, do you have any reviews for us, Todd?
I do. So this week I'm going to read a comment from our Spotify comments off of our most recent Jewel of the Nile episode.
General racism was Omar's right-hand guy.
Dude, that joke made me lose it when I was listening through it before I posted the episode, man. I forgot about it, Paige, and I lost it. It was so funny. I'm going to read this from Andrew, who I think I've actually read his before. I recognize this name because he's active in the Facebook group, too. But they say, Paige referred to a character or person as the Stephen King of smut. I prefer the R.L. Stein of smut, Chuck Tingle.
See, I can't get into Chuck Tingle. No shade if you love Chuck Tingle. I understand why people do. It's just not for me.
I fully thought that he had just made up an author's name that sounded dirty. So, okay.
Chuck Tingle is very real. That's a very real thing.
Paige, why are you talking to me about people who write books? I can't read. And you're like, oh, this author exists. Yeah, okay.
They do. And here's the thing. I'm happy that Chuck Tingle exists, even if it's not really for me. By all means, have fun, y'all.
That's a nom de plume, though, right? Like, his name is not Chuck Tingle.
I'm sure his name is not actually Chuck Tingle. Yeah, for sure.
Next thing, I mean, I'm just glad that Mark Twain didn't write smut, because it would have been a different TW word that he had closed the name out with. Anyway, Andrew, thank you so much for that Spotify comment. And if you want to have me read your Spotify comment or 5-star Apple review, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep. Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be it for us. You guys, I'm Paige.
And I'm Todd.
And you complete us.
To completion. Bye. This movie science is insane, nerds. I can't stay awake just to watch these movies. Zoned out hard in that last meet cute while they start a petty dispute. I have spent my life watching them blend together. I feel like I've been stuck inside this genre forever and ever and ever. Sometimes I close my eyes, sometimes I fall asleep and I miss it, Paige, and I don't want to miss a thing, 'cause all the see happy endings do come true, 'cause you tell me, Paige, and I don't have to miss a thing. Wait, did she just fake that smile? Was that just a rainstorm kiss? Sorry that my dumb attention spans become your job like this. They brought a pistol to space, and no one seemed to bat an eye. Like, did they just sneak a gun past NASA at check-in time? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I close my eyes, sometimes I fall asleep, and I missed it, Paige, and I don't wanna miss a thing, 'cause all the awesome work you do, I see happy endings do come true, 'cause you tell me, Paige, and I don't have to miss a thing.